Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome back to another episode of Solari Tarot. It's Greg here. I'm here to do your reading for October 2022. I just woke up. It's super cold outside, and winter really is coming, and I can't figure out whether I'm cozy or miserable. Please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe on the video if it's your vibe. We're going to start with your astrology. Then we're going to move into some oracle cards I've already pulled for you. And last but not least, we're of course going to do a full spread of tarot and clarification if we have time. Any information that you need from me is in the description box below. Let's get started. Sagittarius, how was your retrograde, darling? Retrograde was a little crazy this time, guys. I was the bearer of some bad news last month. There was just a lot of challenging aspects to the astrology. And this month, I'm the bearer of good news, not bad news. Astrology looks a lot better. So on the 1st, which this is the 4th when I'm filming. So on the 1st, Venus opposed Jupiter. That was in your 5th house of pleasure. This is paving the way for you to find people who inspire you. Also, there is this idea that because it's in your 5th house, right? And we've seen a lot of love energy. I only do love readings when the astrology matches up and it's applicable, or if the reading comes out itself, right? But this month, we may be doing bonus love readings for all the signs I've filmed so far, actually. Because you guys may be in a situation where you and a friend take things to a new level. For some of you, platonic love could turn into something more this month, around the beginning of the month. Now, of course, Mercury is going direct. Well, it did 2 days ago on October 2nd. And for you, this is about you taking control of your career life in a really big, major way. It's stationing direct in your 10th house of public standing and reputation. So if you're doing any damage control, this is the time for it, to make sure that there aren't any professional misunderstandings. You could really be moving forward in your career here as we move through October. You've learned a lot in September about what you do want and what does motivate you and what is worth prioritizing. So now you kind of have an idea of what you're building. Now, on the 9th, we have a full moon. This is going to be in your fellow fire sign of Aries. This will be in your 5th house of romance and creativity as well, illuminating your heart's deepest desires. So, would not be surprised if today's reading has some love aspects to it. Yeah, this is really a beautiful moment for so many of us, especially for you in the 5th house, where we might just be falling into some romantic scenarios, really without our intention of them being that way. It just kind of ends up that way. This full moon's bringing passion to your life, but it's going to make you look at what's really making you happy. And that's not just about love either in the 5th house, of course. You know, if you're not prioritizing your hobbies or your side hustle that you love so much, you know, this is my side hustle, so I'm happy to be prioritizing it right now. You'll be getting realigned with your new preferences and taking time for your hobbies if you're not doing those things now. Now, the beginning of the month looks really, really great for you, but as we get to the end of the month, Venus is taking its leave in your 12th house. This is your house of spirituality. It's happening on October 23rd, so you might be feeling socially withdrawn as the latter half of the month starts to take shape. You're craving connections that don't require work. Now, we have a solar eclipse on October 25th. For you, this could bring up some repressed emotions and repressed memories. So, some things could be resurfacing. So if there's things you haven't figured out about what you've been through, now would be a great time to process this on the solar eclipse. Now, excuse me. Many of us in the magical community don't like to do a lot of any kind of ritual work on eclipses. We don't think that the energy is compatible. Some of you may, I don't know, just for many of us here in the world, we don't participate in eclipses. But this is kind of a time to let the universe do its own job, right? Now, this solar eclipse could bring a little bit of an ending. You might be making peace with the past and letting go of things that just aren't serving their purpose in your energetic field these days, right? So that you can make more time for things like hobbies. Now, Jupiter retrograde is going back into Pisces, which will be in your 4th house of home and family on the 28th. You just might not be interested in keeping up with public appearances, making waves out there in the world. It just might not be your vibe here at the end of the month. You're turning your attention to your home, to the people, the family, the ones you really love, the people who really matter. You can have every dollar in the world, babe, but if you don't have anybody to share it with, that money will be hollow. I promise. Now, lastly, Mars retrograde is unfolding on the day before Samhain. And this could leave a little bit of trouble brewing in your relationships. It's going to be in your 7th house of union and partnerships. But you will be navigating these conflicts, if there are any, and you'll be solving problems at the first go. So the end of the month could bring just a bit of confusing energy, but it doesn't look like anything that throws you off track. And it is a quite sweet month for a lot of different kinds of energies, particularly those of you looking for a romantic love. Once again, for some of you, it might be unfurling and unfolding. It might be happening with a friend, somebody that you hadn't really intended on being intimate with, right? Now, let's look at your oracle cards for the month. Your animal spirit is the sandpiper spirit. Be playful. And I think that's funny because I do think, Sagittarius, this month you are classically playing. Now, you might be doing this in a lot of different kinds of ways, but remember to be lighthearted here this month. Towards the end of the month, you might really just want to hang home and not be out there in the world. But I think in the beginning of the month, you're wanting to really be your most authentic, silly self. You might be cracking extra jokes this month, right? Now, your Norse card is a card and a goddess, very, very important to me, actually. I was happy to see you pull it. You pulled Skadi, ambition, the hunt. Skadi is a Jotun, a giantess, even more powerful than the Norse pantheon. And she had a pretty funny story in her mythology. She was very, very independent, and she was very, very certain of what she was looking for. I think that we really are kind of being playful about what we want, but our idea is that we can move forward in the world and still be really hawk-eyed towards the ambitions that we have at this time, or towards the things that we want. Your archetype card is the flame. I like this as the Ace of Wands idea of the inner sanctum of us. Which is precisely why, if there are old haunts or old resurfacing memories around the end of the month that are coming up after this very playful time, make sure to take care of them so that that inner sanctum stays lit, right? And we don't have any issues with your intention of moving forward. Now, let's get into the tarot. What is the message for Sagittarius, October 2022? Sagittarius 2022. What is our message for Sagittarius 2022? Let's get started. I'm still kind of waking up right now because it's pretty early in the morning. So I'm a little groggy. I have a lot of coffee. Sagittarius. Here we go. Starting out with the Lovers. Now, this is the Lord of the Crossroads. This is about us making decisions, right? But here, excuse me, here I would also like to mention that this is very much about love for you here this month. It's in the crown of your reading. Oh, there's a huge concrete truck, or trash truck driving by. Sorry, guys. The Lovers. I do think that there are going to be a lot of interesting developments in your romantic life here in the month of October. Seems to be, I've just done water signs so far, but it seems to be that everybody that I've read for so far has got a lot of placement in the 5th house here. Also, towards the end of the month, we have Jupiter moving back into Pisces again, where it will remain for the rest of the year. So, love is kind of in the air. There's a Taylor Swift energy around us, many of us in October, but not the sad songs, right? Sagittarius. The Lovers is Gemini energy as well, so you could have Gemini energy around you. Let's see what else is coming out for you, Sag. The cards are starting slow. We have the 4 of Cups. Look, I think that this energy here is you really in the process of navigating which direction you're moving in. And I don't think where you are right now, or whatever you've seen in September and during that retrograde, I think there's this like feeling like you just want more, right? You just desire more. You're just interested in more satisfaction. And I think that you're very dissatisfied. I see you in this energy. It's like everything's not wrong, but everything's not right. You know what I mean? Everything's not terrible and awful. It's just that this is not where I want to be. This is not where I thought I would be. Now we're making big strides forward in terms of where we want to be. The Lovers is when we come to that crossroads, and the 4 of Cups is when we realize that standing at the roadway, looking at which path to take for too long, will make us dissatisfied. And I really think in some way, Sagittarius, you know that above most zodiac signs. Okay, something else here. We have the 10 of Wands coming out here. Let's pull a few more. Some of you could be feeling this month like you're ready for progression in your professional life, perhaps even in your romantic life as well. And that you're doing a lot of work, but you're not getting a lot of follow through. Or that you're left in a state of exhaustion that doesn't really allow you very much time to become satisfied. When we were in the astrology portion of this reading, we were talking about how it may be important for you this month to go back to some of the hobbies that you have, some of the things that you like to do. Some of you could be very, very weighed down by responsibilities at this time, things that, only you can take care of, and that list is getting long, right? And so then we put off the things that we love, and we put off the things that make us happy. That could be a lover. Maybe you feel like you're so busy at work, you don't even have time to go on a date. And for some of you, you could just be feeling like there are too many strings attached to the lovers that you do encounter, right? Like, it's not that you don't like them, it's just that it doesn't really feel that exciting to you. It's not taking your breath away here. It's just an option. And that could be a keen indicator into what you really want, which after a 10, we always have an ace. And when we're in an ace, folks, we're in the perfect space to determine what it is that we want and where it is that we're headed. But it looks like the current path that you've been on has weighed you down a lot. You may be asking the ones you love in the later portion of the month for help. You should ask the ones you love for help. It's really good. Oh, there's something else here. Page of Wands. Because there are new things coming into your experience, and there are messages of new creative endeavors or new exciting things that could be happening very quickly. But once again, look at this. The Lovers in the middle down to the heart, which is the Page of Wands. It's like you desire for freedom in some kind of way. It's almost like you want to break out of that 9 to 5. You want to break out of that everyday routine that you've been on that just feels so chronically monotonous. I'm like speaking to Sagittariuses here who are dreaming of a warm beach or a Scandinavian forest. Like you just want to go somewhere. You just want to get out of this monotony that you feel like you've been under. And you are getting out of that monotony that you feel like you've been under. There are new adventures on the horizon for you in October as we move into November. There are new movements of energy, so any stale feeling will let up for you, Sagittarius. We have the 5 of Cups. Now, I think that this 5 of Cups is coming out in reference to us talking about that end of the month, that solar eclipse. And I think it's coming out to say that, well, look, there could be some things, Sag, you are seeing around the time of this eclipse that you've repressed. Emotions that you thought you had already healed. Feelings about things that you thought you didn't feel that way about anymore. And regrets, sadnesses could come out of the woodworks. But it is time, my friends, to look at these things, acknowledge the past, and then let it go. It's time to process it now. I know that that's a really hard thing to do, but if you are going to go on this new adventure, let me explain something to you. The Page of Wands is an adventure, but you're in a 10 of Wands. And you'll notice this picture is not really a very good description, but in the traditional tarot, one person is holding 10 wands and they're at their last rope and they're carrying too much. And because they have 10 wands on their back, they're not moving very quickly. So please keep that in mind in the month of October, Sagittarius. If you're carrying a 150-pound backpack full of things you don't need, for instance, would you take your grandmother's fine china out to the forest to go hiking? Boxes of it? No. That makes no sense, right? Exactly. Because it's unnecessary for travel. Right? It doesn't need to be taken. It's just weighing you down. It's just making you slower. So I would like for you to keep that in mind here in the month of October. Okay, we have the 6 of Coins because there are very platonic energies that are, there's deal making happening right now, right? There's equal give and take. There's a balanced playing field here. If you are in need of help also, that help will come to you. Now, for some of you, it could be that on this new journey that you embark on, you realize somebody else needs your help. And I will say, I have learned in my life that the one thing in the world usually that can shake us out of the 4 of Cups is to help somebody else. When we just don't feel good about our life, we just don't feel great about it. I've learned the best thing to shake you out of dissatisfaction or just general dissociation is to help somebody else. That can be much more profitable for you in terms of your soul than you understand. There's a reason why we feel so good when we help others or when others help us, because we are chemically connected to others. And I think that you'll be seeing a lot of how you chemically connect with others this month. Now, we have the Knight of Cups. This could be that friend. But we do have a Knight of Cups coming in. Not surprised to see this card, obviously, because in your astrology, you got a lot of movement in the beginning of the month in your 5th house. And I think that some of you guys could just be having some romantic experiences. And I think it's going to be with somebody quite unexpected. Could be a friend. Like, you guys have always kind of known that maybe you feel this way for each other, but it's never really become more. For some of you this month, you might be just dating your friend. And that might really be nice for you. And it might be the very thing that's shaken you out of that Four of Cups, right? We have the Lovers here in the crown, and in the root, we have the Knight of Cups. So we do see progression in terms of your romantic life here in the month of October. And for this month, because there have been so many romantic energies in all the readings I've done, I will be doing love bonus readings for you and all of the signs that had big love themes in their readings. So keep an eye out for that, because it'll be just a love reading. You know, I don't do those unless the astrology is compatible or we see it in the reading and it's a big talking point. We'll do them. But this is not a love reading channel. This is a you taking care of yourself channel. All right, we have the Queen of Cups. We just see sweet emotions here, Sagittarius. Just good feelings, just lovely feelings. I really think there's romance in the air for you here, and I think it's helping you heal some things in your life that made you really sad. I love this for you. I love the Lovers, Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups here. Okay. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Swords, people looking at you. And we also have the Nine of Wands. Hang in there, buddy. And isn't that card so creepy? Bunch of flaming heads. Very creepy. All right, let's keep going. No walls up this month, Sagittarius. Put the walls down. Be playful. Know what you want. Go for the things that are inspiring you and making you feel good. I did a reading for one of the water signs yesterday. I can't remember which one, but there was this message about that somebody's sex life or somebody's romantic life was inspiring them to want to create art again. And somebody commented on it this morning and said something like, I can't wait for all this sex so that I can make art again. LOL. And I do kind of feel this energy of just people having muses, right? You have that great night of sex and you're like, whoa, oh my God. I'm a songwriter. Many of you know this about me. I've written songs for many, many years. Not really sure why I've never ever sang for you on this channel, considering I had a full-blown career in the music industry for a decade, but I probably will sing for you at some point on here. But in writing songs, nothing inspired me to create something more than somebody I was in love with and somebody that really just made me feel so good. And you may be encountering a person like that here at the beginning of the month. At the end of the month, you may be retreating into your own world and not really interested in doing the Sag thing, the big Page of Wands freedom thing. But as far as staleness goes, that's clearing up for you here in the month of October. Take all of the time that you need. I feel like our message has really come through here. I'm not going to clarify. We're running out of time anyway, but I do want to say, I think that this month for you is going to be really unexpectedly sweet. There's definitely a friends to lovers energy, and there's definitely a new love energy for a lot of you as well. The big questions we want to talk about here before we wrap up are, one, where are you standing at the crossroads? And what path are you now going to take? Because you need to get moving. Where are you dissatisfied? Why? And what do you think you can do to navigate yourself back into a place where you're not in the Four of Cups, 10 of Wands, right? This energy is like every day is monotonous. Every day is the same. I want to escape my rote reality. right? I'm trying to escape this everyday monotony. I think that you will be doing that here this month. And I think it might be hotter, more romantic than you think. Keep an eye open for your love reading. I also have plenty more stuff that I filmed while I was in West Virginia. Episode 2 of my cinematic series is coming out this week as well, so keep an eye open for that. I love you, Sagittarius. If you made it this far, thank you so much. You are so lovely. And I love you guys very much. I love spending time with you. I'm so happy to be back on the channel. It feels like home. It's cool to be here. Please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling about the reading. Interact with me. I love to read what you guys are experiencing in your life based off of the astrology. It's very interesting to me. So yeah, leave me some messages in the comments. I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.